of water, but it had the same sphere that me and Ellie saw inside of it. And I was looking at it, and it looked so beautiful, and it was just amazing to see. But you could see like it was almost alive, this sphere. And I turned to the alien and I said, "Is this God?" And he turned and he gave me the most weirdest smirk on his face, like almost like he had a plan. And I blacked out. And I woke up once again walking down the street. And I was like, okay, this is weird. And I had that same kind of sensation where it kind of felt like a dream. And I had that feeling where I could fly. And so I just jumped up and started flying. And sure enough, I'm flying around. And I'm above like rooftops flying all around the city. And I get to this one spot where I can see this guy on a bike and this truck, both on two different streets that are about to connect at an intersection. And I just knew that this guy on the bike was watching me from a distance. He could see me, and I could almost feel his thoughts, as if he was saying, "What the hell is that?" about me flying in the air. And as he gets getting closer to the intersection where the truck is coming along, I just knew the guy was going to get smoked by this truck. And I thought, if I could just get there fast enough, I can put my feet down, I could put my hand out and I'll stop it like Superman, because I assumed it was just a dream at that point. And I thought, if I could just do that, get there fast enough, I could stop it like Superman. And I flew as fast as I could. I remember putting my feet down, stretching my hand out, getting ready to grab the dude on the bike and stop the truck at the same time. And then, poof, we just magically appeared on the other side of the street. And I can only assume that it was the UFO or the aliens monitoring my actions. Somehow I think they put that sphere into me, and I was able to basically fly around and do whatever I want. And I guess they were monitoring my actions to see what I would do. And anyways, when we, like, I guess we teleported or something. So anyways, when we got to the other side of the street and out of the clear of the truck, I remember slapping my hands down on the bike and saying, "There," as in, that's where you should be. You should be right here, not in the middle of the intersection where you're going to get smoked by a truck. But when I did that, I guess my molecules weren't properly set just yet. And so when I slapped my hands down on the bike, I guess the vibrations from the slap made the molecules that were setting, not stable. And it actually gave a painful sensation when I slapped my hands on it, like a real painful sensation. And I remember looking at my hands, seeing them like glowing, and I shoved them in my pockets. And I started thinking, this is not a dream. I've never felt pain in a dream, ever. And I walked towards the guy in the truck that was like frantically circling, like looking, I guess, for us. And as I walked towards the guy's like holding his crotch. I guess he was trying to not to pee himself or something. And he's walking towards me, and I'm walking towards him. And I'm thinking, if I just walk towards him. He's going to see that everybody's okay, and he's just going to get back in his truck, and that will be the end of it. And then as I walked, I looked up and I saw a street camera, and I just knew instantly the dude is going to also see the camera, and he's going to stick around, and he's going to call the police, and he's going to say, you need to review the footage of what just happened. You know, I almost smoked the guy, but somehow he was saved. And I just kept thinking I was going to be in trouble by the police. And so I darted down this street to the left of me and followed her around to a supermarket. And from there, once I got inside, because I've always thought, you know, if you're ever running from police, the best place to go would be like somewhere crowded, like a mall, or, you know, like a grocery store or some kind of thing with a lot of people. And since it was like super late at night, the only thing that was open was like this late night grocery store. And once inside it and I started walking around, I almost completely forgot about the whole incident with saving the dude and stuff. It was almost like you know how you progress from one dream, or you have a dream and then you have another dream within a dream, and once you get to the other dream you forget about the beginning of it. That's almost what it was like. So now I'm walking around this grocery store, and this lady she was so rude. She was like, she couldn't reach up on the shelf for whatever, I think it was coffee, and she pointed at me, and she pointed up at the thing, and she was like, chop chop, as in for me to get it. She didn't ask me, she just, you know, chop chop. And then she turned around and started picking bananas, or just looking through the fruit or something like that, some kind of bananas and whatever. And as her back was turned, I thought, alright, I'm just going to take advantage of my dream again and use telekinesis again. And I stretched my hand out, and I thought, alright, I'm just going to snap this can right in my hand. And it did it. But it was so different from every other dream, because I could actually feel the tin slap into my hand. I remember looking at the can, and then she turned around, and she like basically took it out of my hand. I was like, and she didn't even say thank you. She was just like, you know, she was the most rudest lady. Anyways, I walked around a couple of aisles, and then there was a dude pushing his cart, and then he pushed it, and he kind of let it like roll out. And there was a little girl beside me, and I kept thinking, this guy's not paying attention, almost like the guy on the bike wasn't paying attention. And then I guess I did remember it a little bit, but I wasn't thinking of it. And I got, I guess, angry, because it was the second Chinese person that's not paying attention in this dream. And I wanted him to pay attention to what he was doing with his cart, since it was just rolling out, and it could have just rolled and hit the little girl, you know. So I used telekinesis again, and I spun his cart around so that he'd look at it. And sure enough, he seen it, and he went running after it. And I turned down an aisle, and then I left the store, and I just woke up in bed. Assumed it was all a dream. 2 weeks later, on YouTube, I see everything that I just explained from the day before, and the Morgan, and the saving the guy on the bike and walking through the grocery store, all on YouTube. Someone dressed exactly like me, looks exactly like me, in my clothes, doing exactly everything I did in my dream. And I started thinking, okay, maybe it wasn't a dream. And I really really started like freaking out because it just it was unconceivable. It was the whole experience of it was just so surreal and dreamlike that I just couldn't comprehend it. I still have trouble trying to comprehend it. And from that point forward, I kind of made it my mission to prove to myself that this was all actually really happening. And so I set up like a webcam at my window to try to capture all the UFOs that I was seeing and stuff. And I did get one really amazing one 3 times in 1 month in October. Almost oh, sorry, my buddy was just texting me. I was just reading that. It was September 5th when I saved the guy and went to the grocery store, and I think it was just near the beginning of September or maybe the end of August when I had the other dream about running and flying by the beach and stuff, where I thought I was in Little China in Toronto. And so, anyways, after that, like I said, I made it my mission to try to collect as much evidence as possible to prove it to myself that it was really happening. Not prove it to anybody else. It was purely a selfish reason. And so anyways, I set up that webcam, and like I said, almost a month later, October 5th, exactly a month later to the day, October 5th, I caught this amazing UFO on film. And I was like, oh, that's, it's amazing. And then October 16th, this old guy in the United States, because I'm in Canada, Alan Epling, captured the exact same thing I did above him for 2 hours, but mine was moving and his is just still for like 2 hours in the daytime. Mine was nighttime. And so this guy's an old astronomer, amateur astronomer guy, and he didn't know what it was that he was looking at, and so he filmed it and apparently made local news, or and a whole bunch of people in Kentucky and Virginia and all the states around there all seen the exact same UFO leading up from where Alan Epling was, leading all the way towards Ontario, Canada, like a straight line of sightings of this same ship that I filmed first. And I caught it again on my webcam